This is the equation solving with decimals homework. So I'm going to start with number 2. The directions say make sure to solve each of the following equations and check them after you've solved. So this first one, I'm going to draw my line down at the equal sign. And I see that 0.01 is being multiplied by x. So the inverse is to divide by 0.01 on both sides. That'll make the 0.01s reduce to 1 and you'll be left with x. Now on this side, we haven't divided with decimals in our heads like that, so we're going to write it using the division sign. So the top number is going to go under the division sign, and the 0.01 will go on the outside. And I've got to move the decimal over 2 spots on the 0.01 so that it becomes 1. Which means I'm going to have to move the decimal over at the 5 2 times. I'm going to use zeros as placeholders. So my new division problem becomes 1 divided by 500. So 1 goes into 5 times. 1 times 5 is 5. 0 will come down. 1 times 0 is 0. And when I subtract, I will get 0. So my answer would be 500. To do my check, I'm going to do that over here to the side. I'm going to rewrite 0.01. I'm going to substitute in my answer, which is 500. And when I multiply those together, I should get 5. Well, I'm going to stack these. 500 times 0.01 would be 005. I could bring down a 0 and do 000. Count the number of decimal spots. I would go over 2 times. So when I multiply those together, I do get 5. So 5 equals 5. Check. I know that looks like $5 and there's a lot of zeros there, but my decimal would be after the 5. I don't really need those extra zeros. My answer is just 5. Okay, let's jump over to this one. I'm going to draw my line down, and I'm solving for s. Right now, 0.2 is being added, so the opposite of that would be to subtract 0.2 on both sides. Oh, actually, this is the one Miss Flood said we're going to cross out because we're going to get negative numbers. So cross that right out, and we're going to go right over to the next one. Solving for y, I want to get rid of this 0.15 to positive 0.15 being added to y, so the opposite would be to subtract 0.15 from both sides. Got to do that over here. So I'd get y equals 2.10 or 2.1. Now I'm going to check by doing 0.15 plus y equals 2.25. I'm going to substitute in 2.10 should be 2.25. I'm going to stack those. I think it's easier that way. 5, 2, 2, and 2.25 equals 2.25. Check. All right, let's do this one down here. Okay, so last one, y is being divided by 0.94. The opposite of divide would be to multiply by 0.94. So whatever we do here, I've got to do it on this side too, 0.94. So here I'm left with y. I'm going to stack these to make it easier to multiply. I get 16. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 1 is 9. Get 36, 18, 19, 20, 21, 6, 15, 2, 2. Then I'm going to count my number of decimal spots. And I'd have to go over 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3. So my decimal would go right there, 2.256. And to check, you're going to rewrite that original equation. Y divided by 0.94 should be 2.4. I'm going to take my answer and substitute it in for y. So 2.256 divided by 0.94 should be 2.4. Now we don't divide like that, so I'm going to set it up with my division sign. That top number goes inside the box. 0.94 goes on the outside. I want to get rid of that decimal, so I'm going to have to multiply by 100 or move it over 2 spots. Multiply by 100, move it over 2 spots. So my new division is 94 on the outside and 225.6 on the inside. I'm going to carry that decimal straight up above. 94 won't go into 2. It won't go into 22. So 94 into 225. I've got to try some different numbers. I'm going to try 2. And I'm going to get 188. That's probably going to be good. So 188, and then I'll subtract. All right, I'm going to get 7, 37. Then I'm going to bring down my 6. I'm going to have to try 94. I'm going to try times 4. I would get 16, 36, 37. That one works out perfect. Times 4 will give me 376, and that's what I was looking for. So my 2.4 equals 2.4, so checks. Okay, hopefully that'll help you with the other ones.